All right. Just gonna get my link set up a couple places if I care to. Okay, let's get this started. I can't imagine there's going to be many people watching, but hey, it's Pax. Hello, Facecam. I'm going to be streaming this tonight. It is Daisy and Rita Young taking on the Summa Cum Laude challenge that I believe Leroy, probably Leroy, was responsible for writing. I think that's who wrote it up. And the challenge is, if I can find what I wrote down, win the Dunwich Legacy campaign with a minimum of 5 or 10 for Magna Cum Laude or 15 for Summa Cum Laude. Different Miskatonic traded investigators and or allies and no other traded allies in your decks. So the way that I'm approaching this challenge is my Daisy deck. Daisy is, of course, Miskatonic traded, so she counts as 1. Has 10 allies in it, and I may as well pop those deck lists up now, like so. Perfect. So Daisy has 1 of each of the level 0 Seeker allies that she has access to: Art Student, Christopher, Malison, an Eldritch Sophist, Jeremiah, Lab Assistant, Medical Student, Webb, Librarian, Witten Green. And then kind of just some good stuff. Her deck is definitely a bit worse for it, and so I took In the Thick of It and a Charisma to try and make sure that I'm not just like floundering with only 1 ally out. And then her counterpart is Rita Young. Rita is only got Peter Sylvester, but she's kind of also, she's taken In the Thick of It. She's got mostly combat and evasion stuff going on here with a little tiny bit of clue assistance in case Daisy can't quite cut the mustard. Like I said, I've taken In the Thick of It on both of them. I got a Charisma on Daisy, and I've taken 2 Sweeping Kicks and my Myriad Easy Mark on Rita. And I think that we're just about ready to get into it. I've got my thing set up here. So yeah, we do our prologue. We're playing on standard, of course. We do our prologue. Dr. Henry calls us in. We're going to go look for Dr. Francis Morgan at the Clover Club because personally, the last time I played Dunwich, I took a different direction where I got too many tokens in the bag, and I was really unhappy with how it went, and I was mostly screwed come the final scenario. And a big part of this challenge is actually winning the campaign. So I'm going to try the tried and true method where I like burn the Necronomicon, don't take any tokens, just say, no, I'm not dealing with these tokens, and hopefully that makes it a bit more reasonable. So Run House always wins. I've already set this up before I got started, so I've got my Clover Club for Doom. Need my 8 clues between the 2 of them. I've got my House always wins. I've got my tokens all set up down here nicely, the way I like them. The only thing left to do, I guess, is opening hands. So Daisy goes boom for 5. Oh, that's funny. My hand is reversed. Oh, that's great. Let's quickly change my color to white because I usually much prefer to be white here. And I will also go turn this bad boy off. There we go. Okay. White hand counter. Can I say bind to my color? Well, I'm not going to need that as much for Rita. Okay. So she's got Malison, Archaic Glyphs, Medical Student, and two Burning the Midnight Oils. Let's take Rita's as well, and we'll do our mulligan based off of that. Was that shuffled? I think that was shuffled. I'm going to go ahead and assume that was shuffled. So Rita does not really need this. So we definitely don't need 2 copies of Burning the Midnight Oil. It's nice to have 2 allies in my opening hand so that I can turf one for clues. The Archaic Glyphs is not doing much for me, and I can sort of delay solving that a bit because I have XP that can go elsewhere. The Meat Cleaver is really nice to see with Rita. I think what I can do is I can get the clues with Rita and have Daisy go do other stuff. But that does mean that Daisy needs to sit around. So we'll put one of those away because we don't need that. And I think the rest of this we'll just keep. So we'll do that and that. 1, 2, an encyclopedia and a calling in favors. That's beautiful. And a cheap shot. Okay. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Okay. So, yeah, let's get started. So, let's go with Rita first. She's going to pop that. Actually, yeah, she's going to pop her Meat Cleaver into play for 1, 2, 3. She's going to investigate 2 against 2. It's got 2 clues on it. 2 against 2. Put that take card into it. -1. So, when we fail, we go 1, 2. Look what I found. Grab those 2 clues. And then, if the test fails, we draw 2 cards and gain 2 resources. Not bad. And then last action, I think we'll just go ahead and take a card draw. Nah, you know what? Let's get that Cherished Keepsake into play. That'll be really useful. Okay. And then that puts us on Daisy. Daisy, I think, is going to... She's going to play Dr. Malison, I think. That could heal damage off her. She might need that back later. You know what? We're going to go ahead and draw a card first, because I think my encyclopedia is not quite as useful until a bit later in the scenario as my obol would be. So we'll draw a card. Art student. Fine. We're going to stand here at the location for a turn so that he comes and hunts to us. Because he's going to be hunting after Daisy anyway. She has the most intellect. So we'll go ahead and... yeah, we'll plop that Malison into play because he's kind of my highest soak available. And then, yeah, we may as well. Let's just get that. Yeah, we'll just get the encyclopedia into play. We kind of need the money to do some gambles, but it's okay. I think getting that out was fine, and we're not going to bother using it obviously because we don't need to do an investigation. So during the enemy phase, the Clover Club Pit boss, prey to highest intellect. So he's going to hunt here, but he's aloof. Do our upkeep on each of our characters. A Mind Over Matter is pretty good. An Accursed Follower, the location farthest from you, aloof. At the end of the enemy phase, add a curse token to the Chaos Bag. Well, let's see where he goes. It's probably right there, right? Right there or right there. Let's head him there. And let's quickly read. This is criminal enemies gain aloof. So this guy is still aloof, but I can kill him. Is that the case? To a criminal enemy immediately advance. Yeah, so I can still kill him. So that's not so bad. All right. So we've done our upkeep. 1 out of 4 doom. And encounter cards. Oh, let's shuffle that real quick too. Twist of Fate. Reveal a random token. Take a damage or take 2 horror. It's not a symbol or positive number, so we take 1 damage. Let's toss that on to Malison. And then Rita. Place a doom on each criminal enemy at your location. If no doom was placed by this effect, lose 2 resources. Ooh, yuck. Hey, Mr. Wolf. So we do get a doom, unfortunately, on the Clover Club Pit boss. So that eats a bit of our time up. That's a big, that's a crying shame. Would have much preferred to lose some money, but that's okay. Okay. So that's that. Oh, the browser's over there. Can't see it. Thank you so much. That is such a shame. I'm so upset that that happened. I should have been paying attention to that. Okay. Thank you for telling me. So we're gonna go ahead with Daisy first. She's gonna scoot out of here. She's gonna head to the Clover Club Lounge. And this, I can discard an ally. His deck is too invasive. Yeah, I know. We can discard an ally from our hand to gain 2 clues from the token pool, limit once per game. And we're going to do that. So we're going to discard an ally. We're going to discard this art student because we don't really need to be getting 2 clues, or to be getting clues off a location right now. And that is going to get us 2 clues from the token pool. So we're already halfway there. We're living on a prayer. And then last action, we're going to scoot down to the card room. And we're going to get ready to do some gambling there if we absolutely have to. Actually, I think we're going to go take some drinks at the bar with both of us and not have to spend money. I think that's probably my best bet. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do that instead. We're going to head to the bar, and we can spend money to gain clues and cards. And we'll have to do that next time. Okay. Rita is going to take 2 move actions. 1, 2. She doesn't have an ally yet. We're going to deal with him next turn, I think. Yeah, we're going to deal with him next turn. And we're going to spend 2 resources to get 2 clues from the pool. And draw 2 cards. Stunning blow and an easy mark. Ooh, that's great. That's quite good, I think, because the stunning blow makes it so that I can swing for like 5 against 2 and evade him for bonus damage with this. So that's pretty good. Okay. So the Clover Club Pit Boss is going to hunt to me. 1 location. Get our upkeeps. Lab Assistant and another Cherished Keepsake. I'd kind of like to not be drawing allies right now, I think, but that's okay. That's okay. 1 out of 4 Doom. Counter cards. Another Twist of Fate. 2 Horror. So I think I will plop 1 onto Malison and then take 1. And then for Rita, she gets 1 Doom on each criminal. If there are no Doom placed, 2 resources. Okay. It's quite the deck ordering so far, but that's all right. So I guess how do you always play her? How do you play her as the main bully? She always seems weird except this flex. Honestly, I've never played Rita before, and so this is going to be very difficult. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I've got a kind of a shitty board state now, I think. I think Rita is going to have to, like, what, engage, fight with the cleaver, and commit the stunning blow? Something like that? Because she has no money. And I think that's kind of what I'm going to have to do, because I really don't want to have to keep dealing with this asshole. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to engage him. Oh, I'm supposed to, at the end of the enemy phase, add a curse. But I didn't miss a curse on any tests there, so that's fine. We'll take a swing with the meat cleaver. I could just take a horror on this keepsake, but I want to commit the stunning blow anyway, so like there's no point in dealing that much damage, I don't think. Could I take 2 swings? I could take 2 swings. How good is 2 up? 2 up's reasonable. 2 up's very reasonable. And I don't really have much else that I'm doing right now. So yeah, let's take a horror onto the Cherished Keepsake. I've got another one on hand anyways. And we'll swing for 4 against 2. That's 2 up. She could commit a mind over matter, but that doesn't seem great. -1. Okay, so 2 damage and he's toast. Probably should have taken that horror to the dome so that I could heal it with the meat cleaver, but not a big deal. And then last action, I think he's going to be hunting to Daisy wherever she is. Too late for me a job tomorrow. Yep, there you go. Have a good one, Wolf. And thank you very much for letting me know that that was up. Oh my god, that would have sucked to miss. Oh my god, I would have let that go on for the whole fucking stream if you hadn't said that. Last action, I think we're going to go ahead and draw a card. Okay, an overpower. That's pretty good. I like seeing an overpower. Okay, Daisy. I think we're going to spend the 2 resources and get the 2 clues for her as well. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. The 2 resources. We both had a drink, so that's good to know now. And when we have collected the requisite numbers of clues, we immediately spend them into advance. Ba-boom. We advance. Set aside Darkened Hall into play. And if it's agenda 1, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until criminal enemy is discarded and spawned at the Darkened Hall. So, Darkened Hall pops into play like there-ish. Right? Something like that. And then we discard until we get an enemy. It's an Albanian Thug, but fortunately he only has 2 health. So that is fine. I actually quite like a 2 health guy, especially a guy that Rita can just like evade twice over 2 turns and not even have to take attacks against. That's pretty good. Okay. Super reasonable. Okay. So that was action 1. We are going to be advancing next turn. And so we're going to be starting with this guy in our up in our faces. She's probably going to like cheap shot him to do an automatic evade and then beat him down with a cleaver or something like that. And so I think I'm going to take a resource, and then I'm going to try to Calling in Favors this Malison. I'm going to spend 1 for Calling in Favors, return Malison to my hand. I'm going to look at the top 9 cards of the deck for an ally, and then play 1. We see Kirby, who we can't afford, and a Research Librarian. So we'll put the Research Librarian into play for 1 resource. And when he enters play, we're going to search our deck for a tome, which is going to be an old Book of Lore. Add it to our hand. And then we're going to wish we had a little more money, but that's okay. Unfortunately, these Burning the Midnight Oils are not very useful in this scenario. I forgot about that. But that's okay. That's okay. We are doing the one that we can be a bit slower on, which is nice. So we're just going to take a resource so we can get this out soon. Yeah. Okay, I like that. So he hunts to us. This guy doesn't have hunt. We do our upkeeps. Boom and boom. Our hand size is 9 over here. I am going to use these eventually. I think I can afford to lose the medical student. I feel like Malison is a bit better for me right now. The one that deals damage only deals 1 damage if Rita's drawing it, and I think that that's okay. So we're going to drop the medical student. Malison's also cheaper. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. We get to our Doom threshold. Delete that Doom. Boom. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the counter deck. And we continue on 3. And does it say that they've lost aloof? It doesn't say they lose aloof here. I guess they start doing that later, right? Yeah. So he's going to engage Daisy because he's got prey. And then we do our encounter cards. Let me just double check that I shuffled that. We lose an action. We both lose an action. And that surges into Cursed Luck, but I can get rid of that pretty easy. And then Rita gets a Cursed Luck, and she can get rid of that pretty easy. -1 skill value during skill tests, not -1 to all of your skills. So that's fine. So Rita is going to play an easy mark. 1, 2, and a draw. Okay. And then she's going to 1, 2, cheap shot this guy. That's 8 against 3, 7 against 3. And we'll just put this overpower into it to be 9 against 3. And we're looking to succeed by 2 to deal 1 damage and then automatically evade him for another damage. Nice, so we get that. So the overpower draws us a card, easy mark. We deal 1 damage to him and automatically evade him, which will do an additional damage. And he gets like chunked up onto the location like that. We succeeded at a skill test by 1 or more, so we discard this immediately. And we'll stick around and just kind of evade him, do a slow roll evade on him, I think, next turn. And now Daisy's turn. She's going to need to play some stuff, and I wonder what it is that she's going to play, because she can't really go deal with this guy very well on her own. I do need Rita to do that. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3 for this Old Book of Lore, which we're then going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll use it on Rita. 3 cards and choose one of them to draw. Yeah, manual dexterity seems fine. She can get rid of something here. I don't think we're going to need the key rings. I think the Daisy's going to be doing their clues for us. And then finally, you know what? We are just going to play a Burning the Midnight Oil to get 2 resources and investigate the location. 5 against 4 against 3 -1. Yeah, okay, we don't succeed by 2, but we do succeed. Doesn't really matter that much. Oh, I was supposed to move off last action. Yeah, well, that's my fault. Yeah, that's my fault. Okay, so we do upkeep and upkeep. And this guy is going to re-engage Daisy, stupidly. Wasn't thinking about that. 1 doom. Counter cards a mobster. After he attacks you, lose a resource. And then a swarm of rats on Rita. Okay. Let's try to be a bit less stupid this time, because that was not my finest moment. I do have the other cheap shot that I could take a shot on this guy fairly high up. Not as high up as I could a minute ago, but fairly high up. And I do have a stunning blow that I could take an attack against this guy and also deal him a bonus damage with it. But I could just take a horror to deal him bonus damage. Daisy could also mind over matter to evade this guy. That's super reasonable, I think. Would love to get these out if I could, but I don't think I can this turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Meat Cleaver first onto this swarm of rats. We are 4 against 1. Let's just get him killed. -2 and an auto fail. Well, at least that removes the curse. And I think now we're going to try the cheap shot on the Clover Club pit boss. Rita's reaction is once per round. That's correct. David, I saw your comment on my latest video. I got a notification for it, but then it just like was gone. So I don't know if you deleted it or if you're like shadow banned or something weird, but I couldn't respond to it or anything. So I don't know what the heck was going on there. So 8 against 3. I could put that stunning blow icon into it, but that seems bad. Yeah, 8 against 3. -1. Okay, so we do 1 damage, and then we automatically evade him, and we can deal him another damage, and we'll send him up to the victory display. Hopefully, hopefully you didn't. I'd say so. There. Sorry about the jerky nature of this, but it is what it is. And then I think we're going to do the Meat Cleaver attack against the mobster. I don't mind if this guy hits me once, but... Well, she could just leave the mobster behind. It's not that big of a deal. Do they gain Hunter later on or something? I feel like they gain Hunter in a minute. Don't quite remember. Anyways, yeah, we'll take a Meat Cleaver swing. We'll put a horror on this, on ourselves. And we're still 4 against 2. Is 4 against 2 alright? 4 against 2 is not great, is it? It's a bit less good when I'm swinging into Daisy. But if it goes off, then I'm good. I'm kind of dawdling around right now, aren't I? Not getting a whole lot accomplished. Yeah, 2-up is fine. I would rather attempt this 2-up and fail and just kill off this librarian than just kill this guy and have to use the mind over matter on Daisy. Okay. It does deal 2 damage, so I do hit her in the face. And I don't heal that aura back, but that's okay. So Daisy is going to play that mind over matter to get her evade up to 4, sort of. And then she's going to evade this guy. Ooh, it's a little tricky, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to evade him 4 against 2. Let's go 6 against 2 with a perception to evade this guy. Okay, -2. So we do succeed by 1, so that's gone. We get the draw card from perception. And he's evaded. Second action, we're going to go ahead and use this old book of lore on ourselves for 1, 2, 3 cards. We'll keep the perception, I think. Crack the case would be really good, but we'll keep the perception. And then we'll scoot 1 location down. And she can kind of deal with them. So we're in the card room now, which doesn't even have anything anymore. Okay, upkeep. Did I shuffle that? I feel like I did shuffle that, but let's check. Didn't happen. Mind over matter, good to see. Oh, well, that attacks her for 1. And then we do upkeep. Manual dexterity. This guy engages Rita. Oh, also he was supposed to attack her once because of the retaliate. Missed that. And she didn't have any money at the time, so I wouldn't have lost a resource. Okay. 2 out of 3 doom. We're going like really slowly. Another cursed luck is fine. In a twist of fate, a 0 does nothing, right? Is a 0 positive? I know it's even, but I don't think it's positive, so I'm pretty sure I take a damage. Okay. This is kind of a bummer now, because I don't really want to have to deal with these guys if I don't have to. But we'll go ahead with Rita first, because again, I kind of need this to go off. So the meat cleaver, we're going to attack the swarm of rats. 0 is not positive. Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks, Chris. We're going to attack the swarm of rats, the meat cleaver. We're 3 up. Okay, he's dead. And we get to heal horror. And then we're going to evade this guy with a... Is 3 up fine? I'm just going to put a manual dexterity into it to be a ton up. So we're going to evade him and use the reaction to take a move. Draw a card from the manual dexterity. And then finally, we're going to play an easy mark, I think, for 2 resources and a card. Nice. 2 resources and a card. Overpower. Great. Okay. All right. We're not buried anymore, and I like that. Daisy, what will you do, lady? I don't really want her to deal with this Obanian thug. I'd like for Rita to be able to do that. But I wonder if I have to like move in, evade him with a mind over matter, and then move somewhere else just to get some progress. That sounds horrendous if I land in the VIP room and then stop getting money. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. We'll, we're going to pop this Malison into play, for 1. And then I'm going to pop Lab Assistant into play for 2. Okay, a deduction is very nice to see. My hand size I'm a lot happier with. And then we're just going to take a resource, I think, to get things going. Yeah, okay. So, this guy's going to ready in a moment, but we get our upkeeps. You have to discard something. We'll discard the extra track shoes. That's easy. We get our advancement. Random enemy from the Hideous Abominations set in the Clover Club Lounge. Shuffle the rest into the encounter deck, excuse me. the set-aside striking fear encounter set, and the discard pile. And then oh yeah, right, the Lilibella Luna gets destroyed. Okay. So we're kind of getting decimated on time here. I'm really not doing a great job managing this. So I don't know that I'm going to be saving what's-his-face here. I might just be trying to get as much VP as I can and get out. And I'll have to deal with the fact that, you know, I'm not going to have one of those Miskatonic guys for my objective. But anyways, I do have a couple of turns, so let's see what we can do. Another Cursed Luck on Daisy. And a Mobster on Rita. Okay. So, the Mobster on Rita is not that big of a deal, because he's going to get eaten up by Ding Dong up there anyways. I guess my question is, how am I clearing the way for Daisy this turn? I could just evade this guy, move, evade, and deal a damage to him. And I feel like that sounds nice to me. Because if I just leave him behind, then we're good. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll evade this guy, 5 against 2. We may as well sneak by him, because I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to get played. Problem is, I kind of can't afford to play it. And I've got the money now, so actually I'm just going to evade him with the sneak by to be 7 against 2. That's what, -2, and I can pay it to be 0, so he's evaded. Come on. Don't do this to me. We're going to move to the Darkened Hall, where we have to put the 3 back halls into play randomly. So, boom, boom, boom. And then he engages us. Then last action, we'll just evade him again with a manual dexterity into it to be 7 against 2. -2. So we do succeed, we draw a card. He's evaded, and we will deal him 1 damage with that evade. Okay. Good start. Good start. Daisy's going to walk down 1. She's going to walk into this back hall doorway. Second action. It's the VIP area. While you're in the VIP area, you cannot draw cards or gain resources during the upkeep phase. Okay. That's where we need to be, but we need more clues to do it. So, action 1 and 2. Action Encyclopedia to get +2 to the test. And then we'll investigate here with a deduction. So we're going to be at 3, 4, 5, 6 against 3. May as well get to... I don't think William Webb is actually that good, so I'm just going to commit him as an icon. 7 against 3, last action. -1. So we do succeed by 1 or more, so we get rid of both of those. And we get both of the clues off the VIP area. Okay. He's going to hunt there. And then... This is at the start of the enemy phase. Okay. They're all going to ready. That's going to go to Rita. We're going to upkeep. Panic! You cannot play, engage, or take resource actions more than once in a turn. It can be healed as if it was horror. I don't think I have any horror heal. I'm done running. Ready to engage all enemies at your location for the remainder of your turn. Whenever you evade an enemy, instead of exhausting and disengaging from that enemy, you may deal it 1 damage. Now, I'm pretty sure that means that I can evade for 2 once. Yeah, I think that's what that means. And I might need to do that in a little bit, but I guess it's not happening right now. 1 out of 7. Counter cards. We each lose an action, and that surges into a Dissonant Voices. That's fine. I can't play stuff right now very well anyways. Then a Rotting Remains. So, we're just going to have to chunk that, unfortunately, and I can just play over this keepsake with it. So 3 against 3. -2, so 1, 2. I think what we're going to do is we're going to evade this guy, putting another sneak by into it to be high enough to beat the -4. Well, what's this guy's evade? He's a 4 evade. Maybe I should save a double icon for him. Yeah. I'm just going to evade him 5 against 2. -2. You cannot gain resources while he's engaged with you. And he engaged me. Is readying before upkeep? I'm going to go check that really quick. Reset actions, ready each exhausted, then upkeep. Okay, so I actually have 1 less resource. But I do evade him successfully. I'll use her trigger to defeat him. And then I'm going to use Rita to go scout out another room, I think. I'd love to get Peter into play, but I don't think that's happening. Let's scout out another room. The back alley. Okay. It's good to see. She's all done there. I think, unfortunately, we're taking 2 moves with Daisy. Oh, she also can't draw cards or gain resources during her upkeep phase, so technically I guess it's like that still, right? My bad. I wonder if I even can save this guy still, or if that's folly. That might be a big fucking waste of my time to even try. If I had another deduction, I'd feel like a bit less like it's a waste of time. But I don't have a deduction. I could try and get a deduction with my oboe, though. So let's do that. Right, I knew that was on top. That's kind of unfair. Fine. May as well take some head icons, I think. Head icons are a bit better than everything else at the moment. Yeah, I think I take 2 moves. I don't remember what the effect of that one is, but I think I take 2 moves to go catch up with Rita. 1, 2. And the worst case scenario, if things are looking really dicey in a turn, I can like get these clues, spend them to spawn him, and then just leave if I don't think I can actually pull it off. So, start of the enemy phase. We discard this guy. Right? And then he moves there. We get our upkeep now. Crack the case. We're still good on hand size. And look what I found. Let's get rid of this old keyring for that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 2 out of 7. Dissonant Voices is already gone. And then Daisy gets a Frozen in Fear. That sucks. Pretty bad. Yeah. She could encyclopedia herself to try and pass that a bit easier. But that does suck. And then Rita gets Doom, lose 2 resources because no criminals placed the Doom on a location. Okay. So, trying to think of how I want to be able to get this. I'm pretty sure I've only used 1 deduction, right? Yeah, there's another deduction in here. I have decent odds of getting it with this oboe pull. What do I want to do with Rita? I want her to go and lock this guy down so I can like get the clues, walk in, save what's-his-face, walk out, leave, right? How do I make sure that she can do that? She also can't really deal damage with the meat cleaver unless it's the last swing. The last swing can deal it, but not with the first one. That said, I can take a horror and deal 3 damage with a stunning blow, right? 2 from this, 1 from this, if he's not already evaded. So I think we go with Daisy first. We use an old Book of Lore to look at the top 3 cards of the deck and draw 1. Okay, we'll take this other crack the case. Not super useful, but it's fine. Okay. Let's... Oh, we can't get out. Right. I should have gone with Rita first and tossed a look what I found. I should have tossed a blank, investigate, played the look what I found if it worked, and then Daisy would be able to move out with the Frozen in Fear. But that's okay. That's okay. Let's use an encyclopedia on ourselves for +2 to will, or sorry, +2 to willpower. Yeah, willpower for the remainder of the phase. For the remainder of the phase, yep, okay. And then I will investigate once with burning the midnight oil for 2 resources. 5 against 1. Whoops. Double clicked that by accident. That's 1 clue. And then again, 5 against 1. Okay, great. I could play both of these for 2 more resources if I wanted to. Do I need to actually play any more cards this game, or is it better to have icons? I think it's better to have icons. So at the end of her turn, she tests this. We'll put an old book of lore into it, so we're testing 6 against 3. That's fine. -2, so that's gone. Now it's Rita's turn. Rita is going to go 1, 2, 3 to play Peter. Move up. Engaging the conglomeration. And then evade him with the sneak by, committed 8 against 4. So he's evaded with a damage, and he's just going to re-ready and go right back on her in a minute. No enemy hunting happens here. Upkeep on Daisy, our other archaic glyphs. Upkeep on Rita, our other Peter Sylvester. Okay. 3 out of 7. If there are no unengaged criminal enemies in play, hunted down, gain surge. If there are 1 or more unengaged criminal enemies, each of them moves 1 location towards you. So he's going to move there. Okay. It's fine. Oh, I have a Servant of the Lurker. Okay. So now we're in the doo-doo, I think. Was I forced to investigate? No, we have to be at the VIP area, but that's okay. I could do I'm done running and just make a bunch of attacks, kind of. He would be pretty easy to defeat. Well, no, not easy to defeat, eh? Not easy, by any means. Do I have to do Rita's turn first? I kind of feel like I have to do Rita's turn first to see if I can make this work. I feel like I'm done running is kind of doing something for me, but only if I pull like my Elder Sign. That's the problem with this card. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I tricking myself? Is this actually not going to do what I want it to do? What I'm thinking is like I said, a single meat cleaver hit for enough on this guy could deal 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. If I do 2 evades with this and just deal 1 damage first. But that's a lot of tests to just try at the values I'm at. Actually, you know what? No, that's fine. Play only during my turn. Boom. Okay. I'm done running. Ready to engage all enemies at your location. For the remainder of the turn, whenever I invade an enemy, instead of exhausting and disengaging from that enemy, you may deal it a damage. Okay? So I'm going to evade this guy. 6 against 2 for 1 damage from this, instead of disengaging from him. Boom. That's 1 damage. Again, 6 against 2. Auto fail. So that plan just died immediately. And I'm about to die immediately. So, fuck me for trying, I guess. And then we do what? What do we even do at that point? because we can't. You may deal it 1 damage. So now I have to evade him again. Yeah, so I have to evade him again. So I'm going to evade him 6 against 2 again, and I'll use her reaction to deal him a damage when he's evaded. There. Okay. That wasn't so bad. It did kind of flub from that auto-fail, but if it had gone off again, I then would have like put a stunning blow in and overpower, taken a damage from Meat Cleaver for another +2, and swung at him for like 7 against 4 or something. 7 against 4? Yeah. And that would have been like, okay, I think. Like that could have done 3 more damage. But I can still do that next turn, right? So, yeah. Okay. Daisy's going to move twice. Boom, boom. Spend her clues at the VIP area. And Dr. Morgan is in play at the VIP area with 3A all in. So let's get rid of Fold. Whoops, I shouldn't do this so quick. Yeah, Dr. Morgan starts there. Where are you, you bastard? There you are. While he's not controlled by a player, he gains 3 willpower to shake him out of his daze. If you succeed, place a clue from the token bank on him. If there are 2 clues on him, take control of him. If each undefeated investigator has resigned advance. Okay, so then I'll use Encyclopedia to give myself +2, and I'll test 5 against 2 to place a clue on him. -2, so that is a clue on him. The conglomeration of spheres attacks me once, so 1 and 1. When we do our upkeep on Daisy, we can't get cards or resources. And then we do upkeep on Rita for a sweeping kick. Yes. Thank God. Okay, this sweeping kick is going to make it so that I can actually kill this guy. And possibly get away from this guy. Ooh, who do I want to use that on? Yeah, I want to use it on him. I would like to get that VP secured. 4 out of 7. Rotting Remains. 3 against 3. I'll just use a deny if that really chunks me too badly. Nope. So 1, 2. And then Rita gets another enemy. No, Cursed Luck. Okay. Cursed Luck is not the worst thing in the world to see. Okay. So, once again, I think we're going to go with Rita first. We're going to spend 1 to do a sweeping kick on this guy. It's a fight where we add our agility, and it deals +1 damage, and if you succeed, you automatically evade them. So, I am at 9 minus 1 is 8 against 4. 8 against 4. -2. So we deal +1 damage from the attack, and then we can automatically evade him, and when we automatically evade him, we deal him another damage. That's 5 damage. This dude gets sent up to the hex zone, and we are at a little bit more VP secured, which I'm really happy with. Excellent. Oh, that card is great. I like that a lot. We also succeeded by enough to get rid of this Cursed Luck, so then let's just toss about a couple of evades on this asshole. 6 against 4. -1, so he's evaded. And then we're going to 1, 2, 3 play the Track Shoes, just so that he's a bit easier to evade next turn. And at the end of our turn, Peter heals a horror. Okay. And then on Daisy, we're going to Encyclopedia to give ourselves +2 to willpower. What's the bag look like? A -3 is... I think I like getting 1 more up. So I'm going to commit one of my denies to this to be 6 against 3. Okay, -2, so we get another clue on him. If there are 2 clues on Dr. Morgan, take control of them. So we put Dr. Morgan in control down here. We're going to kick the lab assistant out of the slot. And then we're going to take 2 move actions. 1, 2. We can get out next turn. Sweet. Okay. Ready. Upkeep stuff. Necronomicon comes into play with 3 Doom on it. And it does kick one of our things out of hand. We'll just get rid of the Obol. No sense in keeping it there. This is the upgraded version where you treat your elder sign as a skull, a tablet, and an elder thing, which is kind of nice in this first scenario where you don't actually have an elder thing. Yeah. So, or sorry, cultist tablet. Did I say skull? Skull? It's just cultist tablet and elder thing. Anyways, so that's that. And a meat cleaver on Rita. 5 out of 7 doom. Another rotting remains. -2, so 1, 2. That's fine because she just gets to leave now. Unfortunately, I could try to solve the glyphs. I don't really want to stand around any longer than I have to, but I could try it. A dissonant voices. So we can't play events, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So we'll evade him with Rita. 7 against 4. -1. We'll move down. We won't even move. We'll just use her. We'll use this to move her. Do I just resign now rather than trying to dick around with this? I can play it, get rid of 2, and then survive 1 more round. We're both standing here. I'm just wondering if it's like possible for me to just instantly lose to something stupid. That's what I'm most concerned about. Is there a way that I can lose to something really stupid? And I feel like there isn't. I feel like there isn't. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm good on that. So I will just forfeit her turn. I'll plop the archaic glyphs into play. Discard an archaic glyphs. And crack the case to put 2 secrets on it. For Daisy's turn. Oh, no, I can do 1 more. Right, I can even do another one because it's a tome action, right? It's a tome action. Okay, cool. So that's that. So that's solved, and I gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources. We do our upkeeps. This guy is going to be ready here. Whoops. Let's try that again. He's going to be ready there. 6 out of 7 doom. That's gone. We get a twist of fate for 1 damage. And another conglomeration of spheres. And then we both resign. Sweet. Alright. We resign with Dr. Francis Morgan. Where is it? R2. The Obanian gang has a bone to pick with us. Go ahead and record this stuff so I don't forget. And what's the other thing? Translated the glyphs. We rescued Dr. Morgan. And I think that he's going to go into Rita's deck. I don't think there's any sense in keeping him in Daisy's. That'd be kind of stupid. Yeah, that would be really stupid. Okay, we did not cheat, and then we get victory equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty reasonable. What does this do again? Yeah, I can't get the 5th off of that. So 4 VP, happy with that. I was hoping to get a bunch of scenarios done tonight, but unfortunately, I just had something come up on a text message. Fuck. And I know there's a lot of other people streaming tonight too. Like I think Mythos Busters has an episode in about an hour and a half. MUR was streaming concurrently. So I'm going to keep this going. I'm happy with how it started. I think extracurricular activities is going to go fine. Resigning technically drops clues in the back alley. Right, yes. So what I would have had to do is take I'm out of here on Rita as a trick. Make sure that she gets 2 of the clues, and then go get those clues and resign from not one of these locations. So if I really wanted to do that, I could have, but I didn't really. House rule to keep the VP. Yeah, I don't blame you for doing that. This is part of the league thing for the League of Extraordinary Investigators, and so I'm trying my hardest to do the rules correctly. I am playing a little fast, but I am trying my hardest. So I'm going to cut this one here. I might be back later tonight, depending on how long I'm needed. But I definitely will be back the next couple of nights trying to jam through a bunch of these scenarios to see if I can get this challenge done. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Bit of a short one, I know. But I'll see you next time. Cheers.